In today's video, I wanted to walk you through some copy ingredients that you must use whenever you are creating your cold email outreach. So how do cold emails typically go? Well, you're going to go have a few sections. Those sections, I like to call them ingredients, where you're able to pick different ingredients that you like, put them into an email, and then hopefully you're able to see how it performs inside of the market. So what are those components? I didn't include subject lines. We could probably do a subject line video on a different day. But today we're looking at intro lines. So these could be considered your hooks, your connecting line statements, your call to actions, and then finally your PS lines. So what are your intro line statements like? This is the first line that a prospect will read. What you want to happen here is you want the prospect to see the relevance of the following sentences. If you mess up your intro line, no matter how good your connecting line is, they probably won't read it. So that's why it's incredibly important to dial in your intro. From there, what the connecting line does is you're really providing more context about who you are and how you could help them. Prospects don't like reading about how amazing you are. They like reading how you could help them go from where they are today to ultimately where they want to go. And if you could bridge that with a good offer, case studies, relevance, data, AI summaries, that's really going to go help them. From there, you have call to actions. Now, this is a small ask. You may not be saying, hey, do you want to sign off on a $50,000 software deal right away through email? You might want to say, hey, do you have any plans to resolve this challenge in the next couple of quarters or the next 6 months? And if they say yes, they do, then you can provide them more information. This is just an example of a call to action. We're going for a hand raise. We're not necessarily trying to boil the oceans overnight. From there, we do have PS lines, and PS lines could be cheeky points of ways how to build trust, build credibility without adding a extra line in the middle over here. So let's see some examples. I won't go through every single one, but as a framework or as an example for this, I saw this example from someone named Eric. He runs GEX, Growth Engine X. He's a cold email agency, and I like this mainly because I was at an Ironman event this past weekend. I wasn't competing, but I like the energy there and thought that this example would be timely. So let's just say that we provide coaching to people for Ironman training. Instead of always reaching out to people that with a basic messaging that says, hey, do you need custom coaching? We would say something like the following. How are you training for your Ironman so that you don't get shin splints? This is a question that would put the prospect in the back of their chair. And if they think that they may be getting shin splints, or maybe perhaps last week their shins were hurting, this would prompt them to respond positively to our message. Now, this is just an example how we're taking very boring messaging and converting it into something that would elicit a response. So let's go ahead and jump into our intro line statement. So again, to recap, we want to showcase our relevance here and to really set the tone for the following sentences that will be inside of the email. Now, what we're going to go do here is we could show recency, saying something like our research that we put in. We could say, hey, I saw your company number, but I thought an email might be better. Or, hey, I saw your review and I really liked what it said. You could also share extremely relevant case studies, such as, hey, I just helped another painting company in your part of town achieve this specific result in this timeline. I thought that you might be interested. That could be a great opening line because there's a ton of relevance. And if you want to have a bit of humor, you could say, sorry for barging in here. I don't really like using the lines, hey, I know you're busy. Hey, just for a moment, because I like coming from a place of strong positioning. And by putting the other prospect up, it's a little bit weird sometimes. There's a way how to do it, but I typically like leading with relevance in my emails. From there, we have connecting lines. And the connecting lines, what I like to do with them is to build social proof, add additional context, or showcase ways that I think that we could help them. So we could say that, hey, we give a couple statistics about who we helped and the results. We talk about our process or our system that would impact their ability to go from where they are today to ultimately where they want to go. And then finally, we can also add some AI generation of ideas. So if we are a CRO agency, conversion rate optimization agency, what we may want to do is provide high level recommendations to Shopify stores where they could improve their user experience on their website. We could say, hey, here's point one, point two, point three. And if you follow all of those things, I'm fairly certain that you'd be able to bump up your conversion rates. These are just very simple things that you could use with AI, but it would show that there is effort put in to personalize the email to the prospect. Finally, when it comes to the call to action, we can do a ton here. One thing that we could also do is instead of asking a question, we could just say, hey, if you find this relevant, feel free to let me know. It's a soft ask. You could ask a conditional question where it says, hey, I do X. If I sent you a video, would you watch it or would you find it relevant? You could say something that's permission based. Hey, don't want to hop on a call right now, but could I send you a video to walk you through how our process works? You could also have something that's pretty punchy. Hey, is this worth exploring? Would this be something you'd want to resolve? And then finally, when it comes to PS lines, what we may want to do is use analogy or just provide additional context. Something that I've done before is I'll really try and double dip on the social proof by saying, hey, by the way, if you're ever bored or have extra time, just search up insert company name on Google, see thousands of reviews of what our clients are saying about us. And if you'd like to have a chat, feel free to let me know. To recap, what we covered today is that for cold email copywriting, everyone's style is different. I don't think that there's any one best style. People write extremely long emails, get results. People write extremely short emails and get results. What you want to do is find your style, find what works in the market, and ideally some ways that I would try and have as like a checkbox here for any person is you want to ask yourself, would you respond to this email yourself? Is it under 80 words? Shorter emails have higher reply rates. From there, you want to see if you are mitigating risk for the prospect to respond back to you. You want to see if you have a credibility statement inside of your email. Could someone easily say yes and move on to the next stage in your funnel? And then finally, does your messaging sound normal? Are you using a ton of jargon inside of your emails? So if you follow all of these practices here, I feel fairly confident that you'd be able to write converting copy that works. If you'd like me to review any of your copy, feel free to comment it below and I can give you some high level feedback on it. I'll see you on the next video and don't forget to subscribe. It helps a ton. I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.